not so that like you, that bitch, I do it. All of them around you scared to do. I'm not. Long as you joking now here for me, I ain't got it. My bitch scheming, looting, hide your bodies. Long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem. I don't got nobody just with you right now. Tell the truth, I look better under you. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can us lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. I can't just snooze and miss the moment. You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. You do. In the drop top ride with you, I feel like Scarface. Like that white bitch with the bob, I'll be your main one. Let's take this argument back up to my place. Sex remind you I'm not violent on your day one. We had shit, yeah. It was magic, yeah. Smash and grab shit, yeah. Nasty habits take a hold when you're not here. Ain't a home when you're not here. Hard to grow when you're not here. I'm saying I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I lose and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. You do. You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. You do.
Main one right, are you frontin' on me and I'm the main one trying? Are you blaming on me and you the main one lying? Are you threatening leaving? I'm the main one crying. Just tryna be you everything. Main one right, are you frontin' on me and I'm the main one trying? Are you blaming on me and you the main one lying? Are you threatening leaving? I'm the main one crying.
I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. You do.
All right, let's get into it. I know I met you about, per se, it sounds like, it feels like forever ago.
I
About
know.
like 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And just for the people to know, let them know who you are and how was your upbringing?
Yeah, so I'm from New Jersey originally, born and raised.
Jersey
girl.
Yes, which fun fact, SZA lived in Jersey too.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's like a nice Jersey girl plug.
Yeah,
we get
that's
into
definitely
it.
what's up.
But yeah, born and raised New Jersey, grew up going to New York a lot. Always loved the city. And then I came to Pitt for college. I went to University of Pittsburgh, studied communications and nonfiction writing. Wanted to be a journalist, and somehow that turned into working in media, a lot of marketing companies. I've worked in some TV production, and like a lot of odd jobs here and there.
Like in and out through the time frame.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to start with, did you always see yourself doing something like this?
Yes and no. I knew growing up that I was always like creative.
Right.
I would steal like my mom's like People magazines and just like look at the advertisements, not necessarily like anything gossipy. And I actually started interning when I was 16 at an advertising agency in New York. Which was super cool because I was in high school at the time working at this like, you know, global advertising agency that, you know, reached all over the globe. So that kind of was like my first like toe dip into the world of what like a career could look like.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like a nice example of, oh, there are careers out there where you can be creative. And then kind of from there, I did nothing by the book ever. I've never, I've worked like internships that were like 9 to 5, you know, things like that. But I've never stayed in like one place long enough. It's always just kind of been like on to the next sort of thing.
Moving around a bit.
Just trying to do it all.
Yeah. You know, journalism, you say journalism, and I think about, you know, kind of like our personalities today, like we know Sway, we know people like, you know, people from the Breakfast Club, things like that. So would you say, you know, based off you wanting to do the journalism in the first place, from what you're doing now, would you say what you're doing now is like funner? If that's a word.
Yeah.
Would you say it's more exciting than
sure.
actual like regular journalism?
Yeah. I mean, definitely, I feel like there was one point in college where like majoring in writing and being those like nonfiction heavy classes, you know, writing is so subjective. So like to go to school for it, like I've had professors that told me I shouldn't pursue, you know, a writing career.
The haters.
Exactly. Literally my thoughts exactly when I got my grade at the end of the semester.
Well, hold on. Elaborate on it. Why they tell you that? Why did
he did not like my writing.
So it sounded like you had expiring writing and it shitted on his dream a little bit.
Yeah, and like I remember like being so excited. It was my sophomore year. I think it was fall semester. Or no, it was that spring semester because I just declared my major in the fall. So I was like, I'm committed to writing. Like I was gonna dual major in communications, and they have like a marketing in the business school dual major. But then I discovered I had to take business calculus, and I hate math. So I was like, we're not doing that. But yeah, it was like one of the first classes I had after I declared my major, and he was a lot more like pretentious than, you know, I was expecting. And he immediately like dismissed my writing. And you know what I love about writing is that I have like a really strong brand voice. So like being able to like evolve what my thoughts and words sound like on paper, it's like almost like a different persona. So that was
like storytelling.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I've definitely carried that over into like my social media work. And a lot of the brands that I work with that aren't my own, like a big part of my job is developing their brand voice. So I feel like I carry bits and pieces of it with me, but I'm honestly so burned out from like constantly writing in college and then after college where, you know, sitting down and writing a story or a blog post or something takes like a lot of effort.
How long does that usually take you?
Depends when I'm writing, but even just to get myself to like want to write and like sit down and do it, that could take like a few days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A few days. But if I'm like super motivated, then I'll make it happen.
I got
Bust it out. So you feel like even with what he was saying, it kind of sounds like you painted a new narrative and a new job description for what you do now, for real.
Definitely.
So would you say that that's a good thing that it happened that way for you to corner the market here?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Like even going to school here, and then I graduated and I moved back home for a little bit, and I worked in New York for a year and a half. And I mean, being in a city like New York, it's a lot bigger than Pittsburgh. There's a lot more competition.
It's like 4 times faster.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And I graduated and I worked at Business Insider. I was a food video production intern.
Okay.
So that kind of was like at the time where Facebook video was like booming a lot.
Okay.
Before Reels existed. It was before TikTok existed. This is like 2017. Which like feels like yesterday, but also is like a decent amount of time ago.
For sure.
So like that world has evolved.
Wow.
We're rolling into almost 8 years.
Yeah. But with COVID, it feels like 20. Yeah.
So how old are you? I know I shouldn't ask the woman that. Don't ever do that. No.
I don't. Yeah.
Don't kill Brock. Just let you know.
You look young.
I don't get offended. People always assume things across the board, which I think is like so funny. But I mean, age is just a number. Also,
absolutely.
I'm 28.
Okay. Oh, you're young. Man.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
But I just.
No, that's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. No, that's cool.
I'd rather people assume that I'm younger because I've had people assume that I'm older, and that's
really.
Yeah.
See, every time I tell somebody my age, they be like, "You're what?" For when I talk about my kids, that's
Right.
When I say, yeah, my daughter's 13, they be like,
Yeah.
they look at me
Do like a little double take.
man, they look like, so you're kind of. I'm like, yeah, I'm around there, buddy.
I definitely
keep
get that a lot
guessing.
too. Yeah.
For sure.
How old are you?
I'm 37.
Oh my. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I would have guessed around my age.
No, I get it a lot. I
is
still
that-
get carded everywhere I
Oh
go.
my.
So
Yeah.
I get that a lot.
I kind of like that.
I do
Anytime
too.
I'm carded, I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm not in a rush to like not be, looking mad.
No, for real. Right on
So
that.
yeah, it's definitely like, I don't want to say a gift and a curse, but I like it. I
Yeah,
get you saying.
that's
I
all that
don't know.
matters.
Yeah.
So just so you know, what did Aaliyah say? Age ain't nothing but a number.
Lesson of the day.
For sure.
Rolling on, I did want to speak on what were, just like as of right now, who are your top 3 brands that you loved working with, just in general?
Definitely. It's a good question. Do you mean just like generally,
In
like
general, in
with
general.
everything that I do?
Yep.
So, I mean, my brand is kind of focused in food in the culinary world. So it's cool that I can like work on the back end with restaurants where people like don't know it's me. And I get to like run their social channels. So one of my favorite brands to work with is 𝒒𝐞𝐞 in Lawrenceville. It's a Japanese restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like kind of off the beaten path. They're like above Round Corner Cantina if you've ever been there.
Okay. Got you.
They're one of my favorite clients to work with just because it's like, it's such a cool vibe. I feel like there's nothing like that exists in Pittsburgh
Yeah.
besides like them.
Got you.
And it's really cool to be able to like create content around something that I didn't really have much knowledge of before like researching it. So like a big part of my job is like using social media to educate people about, like what the dishes are, what the ingredients are. Yeah.
What to look forward to when they come in.
Definitely.
Okay.
Even if
Yeah.
it's like the fact of, like a good sushi restaurant won't necessarily be open on a Monday because most like fresh fish comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So like even if it's like details like that. And yeah, they're one of my favorite brands to work with on like the brand management side. And I love that they like weave music into what they do. So they have DJs Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So a big part,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair.
So a big part of my job has been like weaving in the music to like the dining experience, which has paid off really well.
Yeah.
That's
Like
good.
people pay attention to that, which is cool.
They do.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you said it's in
Go ahead.
Lawrenceville? I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
It's in Lawrenceville. Lawrenceville, I remember years ago, it used to not be as booming. It's booming.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I be going down there through the day, and it's hustle and bustle down there. It's
Yeah.
like crazy. It's like, and you be like, is this college town? But
I know.
it's really not. It's just the culture of that area has really, really just changed.
Switched out a lot.
And but yeah, that's excellent. That he was saying with you were saying with the music, they've incorporated that in their venue. Like, is the crowd big on like the weekends for them?
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like also like the pandemic kind of eliminated like anything that's open late night to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel like finding any sort of good food to eat after 10 p.m. is impossible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, literally. And I'm
It's
so
either
like,
fast food or the
McDonald's be in
what's the spot
in
on
the
the
street.
South side? That's the only spot. That's literally the only spot.
Cambodian kitchen.
yeah.
That's it. It's nothing. And then once you run out of that, you're
It's
like, all
over.
right, I done tasted everything. Right. I need something else.
No, literally.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. And 𝒒𝐞𝐞 actually used to be open until 2 a.m.
Really?
Now they're only open until midnight.
Wow.
That's still a decent time, though. I'm not gonna
Right,
lie. The
right.
only reason why I say that, because usually once 10 hit, you be like, all right, I don't know where to go.
No, exactly.
I don't know what it is.
What's up, bro?
Come on, buddy.
Hey, doing good. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Hey, man.
you,
My
man.
guy, my
You already
guy.
know, bro.
If y'all don't know what it is, it's Vibeship TV. Hey, we got something coming crazy with. You already know.
You did. You already know where we out with it too, man. 1844 Center Avenue. Make sure you pull up. You did. You already know Vibeship TV is in the building. You did.
It's a vibe.
And even down to the tea of you having your own sandwich. Could you even talk about that a
Oh,
little bit?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I work with 𝒄𝐞𝐞 𝐌𝐨𝐫𝐞.
Yep.
And we have a Hungry Jess shawarma, which Jason that owns Peter Meyer Shawarma, we went to college together. So it's cool that like he's running his own business.
So break down real quick. What's a shawarma?
Yeah, so it's either chicken or I want to say beef. I think those are the two options. And it's essentially like a pita, the meat that you want, lettuce, tomato, pickled onions and pickles, and then usually like a white garlic sauce. But the Hungry Jess shawarma is a sriracha aioli. So that's like what makes it a Hungry Jess
I dig it.
shawarma.
You
Yeah.
had to put your little spice in.
Yes, I was gonna say yeah, and then like a little bit of parsley at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been my
alright.
longest partnership.
Okay.
That's good.
That's dope that you got to build that relationship. But before we go back offhand, what are the other two brands that you
Yeah, I
love
know,
working with? It's cool. We
I know, back and
we had
forth,
a
yeah.
couple- Yeah, you're good.
I think one of my favorite brands to work with, like within my own brand, and you like mentioned it for a second there before, but I mean, I love McDonald's. Like I'm a big McDonald's stan, so I worked with them in the spring. When they came out they had like the Big Mac sauce in the packets that you can take. And the Big Mac was like created outside of the city.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So there's like
I
a whole
didn't know
Big
that
Mac museum in a McDonald's.
Yeah, it was created in the city.
Yeah, like
Pittsburgh made the first Big Mac.
yeah.
I did not know that.
If you look up
I ain't know that
everything
either.
that was made, even the Ferris wheel was made here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's
crazy.
a lot of stuff that was really made here.
All I know
Yeah.
is, Hang, we got one now. That's all I'm saying.
It's
City.
in the works out here.
They need to hurry up. It's like 2024 now, basically. Like, you should have had that 20
It's
years
definitely
ago.
in the works for
I'm
that.
just saying.
Yeah, it's like, what are they gonna do next? But yeah, that was like a really cool partnership to have,
Yeah.
to work with like a big brand that has like a local focus, but like technically like an international brand,
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
which is like
sure.
great for the portfolio.
I went to this spot in Chicago, and I tried their...
Oh, is it like the World Kitchen
Yes.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the event that I did was down the street from there, the Randolph Street Market.
okay.
So it was literally in walking distance.
Nice.
I walked down there, gets in there. I think I grabbed some sweet potato fries. I'm like, yeah, they might take like 5 minutes. I was in the middle of recording my video, and they pop up like, here you go. I said, oh, all right. Literally 2 minutes.
Were they good?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Well worth it. That and I think
We
I
need
tried
those
their,
here.
did we?
Sweet potato fries? Like we need
Yeah.
them here, I think.
Oh yeah, we for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And they was. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Bro, well worth it. Well worth it. Like for it to come from McDonald's and for it to be that good.
Yeah.
Like for because you know everybody loves their fries as is. So it was like if this disappoints me, I'm gonna have an issue. But they had that and they had like a another international favorite was this certain type of McFlurry that they had.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it had like salted caramel in it and everything. It was fire though.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So,
want to go there.
It's worth it. For sure it's worth it. I think it's
don't
actually
like
right on Randolph to be exact. But so you said the spot in Lawrenceville,
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Shout out to Mickey
McDonald's.
D's. Appreciate y'all. Keep the fries coming.
And then I'll do one more like local brand. I worked with Eaton Park in
Okay.
March, which like not being from here, it's been really cool to like work with like very Pittsburgh centric brands
Right.
and see how like other people like associate with them. So for like when the fish fries were big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, for
paint-
fry goes down.
yeah, I painted. It was like also a collab with my nail salon. We did the fish fry, like the fish sandwich, like the
Yeah.
whale of a cod, they call it on my nails.
Yeah.
And we used that to like promote the
Yeah.
sandwich.
That's fire.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm always trying to like think outside the box, especially like I feel like a lot of people on social media, like
It's the
in
same
that,
thing.
Yeah.
or just like in general. I'm sure you see it a lot too.
Oh, yeah,
like
for
just like
sure.
the same style of video, same style of editing. So I'm always like, what can I do that like no one else
That
is
no one
doing?
else is- yeah.
That people will be like, whoa, like
Stand out. Yeah.
yeah.
It'll have you catch a wave that you wouldn't even think of. I just had
Yeah.
a message sent today to me, and he's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm in DC, and they know you out here." I'm like, "What?"
that.
He's like, "Yeah, bro." I said, "Really?" I was like, "I appreciate that, bro."
Yeah.
My man, Drizzy, he be doing like the shoes. He do a lot of shoes, and he's into like fashion and stuff like that. But just to hear that coming from him, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Like,
That's awesome.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I got the polo too. I ain't even gonna lie. I got the Lay's polo. I don't know if you ever seen that.
No.
Yes, I put it on my personal page, but got it from ragmonger Zach.
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, bro, I got this Lay's polo, and I was like, bro, what you want for it? He's like, it's you, bro. So he gave me a decent price. I was
Love
like,
that.
he's like, who else is gonna use this? Is your name? I was like, I appreciate you. Shout out to Zach. I appreciate you, bro.
It is your brand, bro.
Yeah, so
like,
I think I wore it to the event.
The
that I
event,
went to.
yeah.
And it was like, I should have known you was going to come in with this. I was like, yeah, you know.
It fits him just right too. You see it, you'd be like, yeah, that's you for sure.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, they need to sponsor you.
I think they should.
Yeah.
You know, I got a good personality.
Yeah,
You know?
you hear that,
100%.
Lay's? Sponsor my man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lay's.
We'll
Lay's
tag
like
them.
the chips, you know.
For sure, we'll definitely tag him. I got a question for you. So, what's the worst brand that you've worked with?
I'm like, I'm like,
Okay, so if you don't want to say no names,
No. We got to find this
no,
up.
I can be candid. I don't have any NDAs in the works.
Okay,
So
good.
there will be none of that. So I had this interesting brand with a brand. So you know King's Hawaiian? Yeah.
The bread?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like love the product, love them. But they did this very interesting thing where they partnered with, I think it was 3 or 4 like very centralized like sandwich places.
Okay.
And then they like reached out to influencers to promote the special sandwich that they had created with that place. So obviously they picked Primanti's, and I'm sure you all like understand like Primanti's. Nothing about it is polished.
Right.
Like it is what it is.
Right.
For sure.
And I remember they sent me. I mean, I live in the South Side. They sent me to the South Side one since it's closest. Picked up the sandwiches. Like the staff was even so nice. They were like, we'll wrap one as like we normally do, but then we'll put one like in a box so like it hopefully stays nice.
Right.
And then took the photos, took the video. I had an intern at the time, so she was helping me piece everything together and sent everything to be reviewed. And then they came back and asked if I could reshoot it because the sandwich didn't look pretty. Which like
We're talking about Primanti,
Right?
no, literally I was
never would
like,
have come out like that.
and you know it's an agency in New York. They've never been to a Primanti's in their life. Like even when I went to Pitt, like the Primanti's on campus, like.
Trust me, it's gonna come out like
you
it's
gotta
gonna
come
fire.
to know, like
It's wonderful,
right.
but it's gonna come out looking crazy.
It's gonna be sloppy.
yeah.
Right.
Facts. It's gonna look, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
And even my intern, I remember when we had like edited the photos and she was like, how'd you make Primanti's look so good? And then for them to come back like that.
And say that.
Yeah. And then they were also like, can we see all the raw images that you took? Which like, that's not really how you operate things.
Yeah. Right.
And I'm someone where like, I like a lot of like creative control.
Got you.
Because like, obviously I create things to like fit
Right.
my brand.
Right.
And I was just like, I'm good. Like, I'll terminate our contract. Like, I'm not reshooting this.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, and like, of course, like the other influencers that they had like post the Primanti sandwich were like based out of Philly, so they like shipped them the ingredients to make the sandwich, and I was like, I'm so glad I pulled out of this because
like,
like,
that's just
Wow, so
terrible,
they
bro.
really was just trying to do
Like,
anything.
yeah,
anything,
it was
bro.
inauthentic.
Yeah.
So that was like probably the one where I was like heated, and I also was like, this is not worth any. This isn't worth it anymore. I'm done.
You feel like it pulled from your creativity for real. It's like once you
Yeah.
start nitpicking at something that
I'm creative. Huh?
and
Yeah.
you know this is what I do, and you're like,
Yeah.
think you gotta do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I could have sworn that's what you hired me for.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool at all.
So it's probably like one of the worst.
That was worse.
Experiences.
One of the-
I want to
Okay.
give them a thumbs down.
Yeah.
Big thumbs down.
Yeah.
Gotta tell them to give it up.
That's
I love
wild.
Primanti's though. Big Primanti's
Oh, yeah.
fan.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had nothing
Yeah.
to do with
For
it,
sure,
but Yeah, King's Hawaiian.
Just so y'all know, King's Hawaiian. King's Hawaiian. Get it together.
For sure. Like,
Yeah, I'm sure I'm blacklisted, but it's fine.
blacklisted.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So what's some of your upcoming projects? Who you got on the roster upcoming for?
Yeah, well, it's just crazy that it's like the end of the year because I feel like
yeah.
I'm wrapping a lot of things up.
Yeah.
But I have the last leg of my partnership with Hello Bistro. Which
Okay.
will go live hopefully this week.
They're really good too.
Yeah, they're good.
They're definitely
And they're great to work with.
surprisingly good because I never really had them, and I do construction, and this was like earlier in the year. I went in there for the first time, and I had like a salad and their Hello Bistro burger, and it was
Yeah.
good. I was
Yeah.
like, I went back a few times. I was like, oh, it's
I love
in.
that.
And I've heard they were good, and I was like, and how you hear me like, I'll be the judge
Right.
myself, and I was
Right.
just thinking, oh, this is gonna be another.
Yeah, you don't want it to be disappointing. Yeah.
And it was good. So hats off to Hello Beach.
Oh, good. I love
sure.
hearing that.
Yeah, it was good.
They have good
But-
French fries too.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fries is good. Yeah,
Fast with French fries is fire.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that their bowls are as big as they are.
I
Because it's
know.
not like, it's really not large, but it looks it.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? Because like once you get through, you be like, I can't believe I ate all this. But you realize like it was just a good size bowl. And
Yeah.
it fills you up. And like you said, the burgers, the fries is fair. But one thing that I feel like they were missing was someone like you. Just because when you see Hello Bistro, you really don't see commercials for them.
Right.
You
9
don't.
times out of 10, you
Right.
don't see the sign.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, but
Yeah.
you don't know what they really have to offer.
That's a good point.
So I
Yeah.
feel like when that project comes out, they're going to have a wide array of more customers just because
sure.
of that. 'Cause
Yeah.
Like you said, it took him to walk in there. But I know if
Right.
he's seen something that you do, which I done seen multiple, he'd be like, I'm going to have to try this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to-
have
yeah.
see what this is about for sure. Like,
Yeah.
It's well worth
That's
it.
always the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Just to like get someone to wanna
Wanted-
walk
yeah.
through the door
See, that's well worth it.
of a quality product. Like
And
I
it
would,
has to be
yeah.
worth it.
Like I would never promote something where I'm like, oh, I hate this, or like I wouldn't want like anyone else to.
Oh, so
have
they.
a bad experience.
That's what I was going to ask you next. Was like, do they like value your honest opinion on things?
Oh, for
Apparently
sure.
they do.
Yeah.
So like Hello Bistro. So like you wouldn't, even though it's like you didn't like it when you tried their food. If you tried their food and you didn't like it, you would not work with
No.
them. Okay.
No, I would not. No, and like even I feel like not growing up here, but like going to Pitt, like there's a Hello Bistro on Pitt's campus.
Yeah.
And I literally lived above it my senior year.
Oh, okay.
So I was there like all the time.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like ready. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like Hello Bistro has got me through that point in my life. But like now I'm here. How can I like weave it in?
Right.
Weave it in then. And it's actually kind of funny. When I first posted with them in February, like the March, April, I was there like at least once a week.
Yeah.
Like just like as like a customer, like I was like, I'm craving a salad. Like it's 7:30 and there's one on the south side. So I was there like all the time. I was like, this is so great to have.
See, that's lovely to hear. That.
I influence myself.
Hey, not knowing that you
to.
build a relationship with them without even knowing
You
it.
got to.
Yeah.
That's just insane within itself. So I wanted to ask you this. Because when did you go to Pitt?
I was there 2013 to 2017.
Okay, so that means that you lived through being able to go to originals. How do you feel about it being gone?
Oh my God. Oakland
gotta
is
bring
so
that up. RIP
different.
to the
No,
For sure.
literally.
Yeah.
Oh my! I used to have classes in the O. Like
Really?
Yeah.
I had a professor my senior year. I think it was senior seminar. So like you literally just write this like 30-page paper. No, literally we would meet once a week on Wednesday nights, and we would literally meet on the second floor of the O.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, 'cause they got the top floor.
Yeah.
With all the windows.
Yeah.
Literally. And like now, obviously now that it's gone, like I regret not getting like fries every time that I was there. But like some people in the class,
That used to be the
like-
late night spot too.
Oh my
For
God.
The, you know
Oh
what I
my
mean?
God.
The late night. The late. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you wasn't in
exactly.
Cambodian, it was either that or the O.
Pizza in Oakland.
Oh.
Fat Olive Pizza.
Word.
That used to be the spot.
Oh, Sorrento's. That's not there anymore. They're
Oh, Saturday
closed.
too?
Oakland
man.
is so different. Garage doors closed. Like we would do karaoke there like every Tuesday.
that's
They had pickle shots. Fuel and Fuddle's closed. That was my like favorite place. Yeah.
That's wild.
Peters is closed. It's Mario's now. They,
Killed
yeah,
everything,
literally.
bro. They should have. I feel
crazy.
like they should have definitely like just remodeled the O. Cause I did hate the bathroom, bro. I hated
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Because you felt like you was going into a salt project. You thought you was going to be chained to the toilet seat. You didn't know what was going to go on.
Bro, these little people in here.
It was definitely like it was dirty. Like,
it was dirty
but
as
you
hell,
loved it. Like
but
you
you
didn't even question it.
For sure.
It was definitely not rated A by the
It wasn't.
No.
It wasn't.
Not at all.
It wasn't.
That's why they call it the dirty oak.
That's why they called it the dirty oak.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Literally, but people were like, no, people loved it. Like,
People-
it wasn't like, ew. It was like, let's go.
Especially like after the club. I remember this had to be like 08, 09. I only had to be like 18, 19.
Swear.
I go down there. They'd stay open till like 5.
Five,
But
yeah.
you
Oh my
were able to
God.
grab your beer yourself.
Yeah,
Before,
yeah.
you know, they had the locks. They got the locks and they had the locks and everything. But before
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you could just
Just
grab
go
your
in
beer.
the- yeah.
And once you got to the front, you just paid for it.
I
but
love
it got
that.
so wild in there.
I can only
Man.
imagine.
It was packed. It was packed, bro. Because I know
at all
we would
times.
always go, of course, after the club and when the club let out. So like
They got
you
mountains
had
of fries.
mountains of fries, bro. Like
And they were so
big
good.
bag of grease.
Like puts Five Guys to shame. Like,
Yes.
I used to walk past
Yes,
Five Guys.
Lord.
I would go get my
And there's a
burger
Five
from
Guys
Five
right
Guys.
behind it.
I would
Yeah.
get my burger from Five Guys, and then I get my fries from
Oh my
I
God.
swear to God, I'm like, why am I going to get my fries from here?
Right.
I'll just get the burger.
Oh
Like, that's all you
my
want, that's all I
God.
want.
Oh my gosh. That yeah,
Wow.
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I feel they should have
Cheddar
just
cheese.
Yes.
they should have just redid it.
yes.
They should have just redid the O.
I
And it
know.
like it still would. I think it still would have been like popping, like you know what I mean. But just gave it a new, you know, facelift, an uplift.
Oh my
You know
God.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kept the same. The second floor, it would have. That's a classic.
Yeah.
It would have a classic. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I remember
Classic
hearing a
place.
rumor that Mark Cuban was gonna buy it.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah, like I remember hearing that rumor, and I remember being like, "Please, like,
should've.
please make that true." And now it's like,
It's gone.
Taco
Like
spot.
yeah, I can't even.
I had it.
it's definitely
It's
a Pittsburgh
good,
original, just like
but-
Heinz.
Yeah,
It's not the O.
It's not
Yeah,
the
it's
O.
definitely not the O.
No.
It took me like 3 years for me to even go in there.
I ain't never been in there since.
No,
it's-
I refuse.
I went
refuse.
twice. I'll say like 3 times now, but the first time I was like, okay, this is worth it. But like I boycotted for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Because my routine every day when I first started selling clothes, I would grab my clothes, go see Zed, go get my fries, and then go on my merry way for the rest of my day.
Wait,
It
I
was
love that.
A daily routine, like from like Monday through Friday, and then.
Where would you get your like? Would it just be all over? You would get your clothes.
When I first started, I used to do estate sales, Goodwills, Red, White, and Blues.
Yeah.
Some people do giveaways because they knew me, and they'd be like, "Bro, we'll just give it to you." I'm like, "All right."
Oh,
and
nice.
So I think the illest fan that I got that I did not have to pay for, shout out to my boy Rodney, gave me a Tupac long sleeve
Oh wow.
from the early 2000s. I had to
Wow.
look. I was hunting for that for about 4 or 5 years now. Cause
Oh,
like
that's so
he's
cool.
from the same street I'm from and everything, from Mill Street. So it was just funny to know. Like I was like, bro. He's like, I'm gonna get you a bag together. I said, good one, bro. Appreciate you. And he did that for me and everything. But rolling into that, it was just the routine of knowing that the O was a part of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the culture of Pittsburgh all together, like that whole routine, going to Zed's, going to the O, it was just a good feeling. So
Yeah.
it's just it's a different world now down there.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like glad I went to school there when I did.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's just if they ever close Hemingway's Cafe, no, I'm gonna have to step in.
I see you now. I see you on your story.
I'm
Like,
gonna-
"There's to be stopped."
No, literally, there's just like a running list.
You're going too far now.
Yeah,
You gone too far.
yeah, I can't stand for it.
So do you feel like Pitt was the beginning of opening you to Pittsburgh as a whole, for real, for real? I say that
Oh,
to some because some
definitely.
people come, you know, and it's like, I'm here, and then they leave and don't want to come back. But
Yeah.
what made you like come back? Was it more so like understanding what was around you when it came to Pittsburgh, just in general?
Yeah. So when I left my senior year, I had no plans of ever like moving back here. Like I knew how to come and visit, but like my mom was telling the story when we moved out, like after graduation, we went to Pamela's, just her and I. Yeah. And I was sitting there and I was like, what do I get? This is my last like trip to Pam's. And I literally just started like crying. And she was like, oh my God. Because I was like, you know, this has been my life for like 4 years. Like what's
it's like your journey.
What's it gonna look like from here? Yeah. And then I was in New York for a year and a half, and I came back to Pittsburgh with a friend that had gone to Penn State. We came back in 2018 that fall for the Penn State game. And I drove us out here, and I actually put like the end destination in like the GPS, like one of my favorite taco spots, which is like round corner Cantina in Lawrenceville. So like we literally drove straight there. And I remember like just like going home that weekend and being like, oh my gosh, like I didn't realize how much I like missed Pittsburgh. And I kind of was like at a middle point career wise. That summer I was interning at Forbes. I was a freelance.
Just so y'all know, this episode is sponsored by Eon. From Thursday to Sunday, come down, show some love. We got great drink specials. We got great Oluga, Solar. You can watch the game in here, man. Yeah, bro, definitely.
Down low, down low, down low, down low. I like my top. Man, it fresh. I got you, nigga. I'm show these nigga what to do with one of your beats, man. I'm shutting the whole block down. Here comes the trouble, homie. I'ma tell you how the king like to ride, homeboy. I like my beat and my top. You see me ride 24. Hey, shop, hey, holla at you like you're getting wood. Hey, your top and let it back. If you're real, sit high. Hey, yo, windows bitch black. I like my beat and my top. You see me ride 24. Hey, shop, hey, holla at you like you're getting wood. Hey, your top and let it back. If you're real, sit high. Hey, yo, windows bitch black.
Like, okay, like if I could like connect with people and maybe make it work somehow, just like do a million things at once. Like at least like I have somewhere to rent. Like it's furnished. I don't have to worry about that. And my parents were like, yeah, I mean, if give yourself a year, if you can make it work, then, you know, yeah, maybe that like is meant to be. So yeah, like a year went by. I was doing like so many different things. I was like, people were like, can you build websites? I was like, yeah, which like, yeah. Like I was really, like I was writing newsletters.
True answer of an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Right. Oh my gosh.
Anything that work right now.
Literally, I was like, I was like emailing everyone. Like I was like, give me anything. Yeah. So, and then the pandemic hit, which, I mean, in a weird way, I feel like it made like local marketing, like people kind of just realize the importance of it. Like, it is really, it is important to have like a social presence and like be able to connect with people like outside of your like day-to-day business. So in a weird way, like I feel like my work really like evolved in the pandemic. And then on the influencer side of things, I feel like influencer marketing has just like boomed.
Took off, yeah.
I was just talking to somebody else about that. I was stating that the one dude from TikTok, he be the little goofy laugh. He's like, he ended up modeling for Nike.
I
was like, wow. And then I blinked and was just like, that happened really fast for real. Like, honest to God. And even thinking about the people that didn't take advantage. So I used to work at that Quiznos right on Craig Street. That's not there no more.
No.
Because he didn't do marketing. And he was about like 60, 70 years old. As a matter of fact, Dre, this was around the time me and you were start talking about doing the marketing stuff together. And I presented him with it. And he was like, I don't think I'll go with something else. I said, okay.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do.
Okay.
And it was him and his wife. And I literally went down there maybe like a month ago. Not even open.
Wow.
And I was like, oh man, that sucks. I felt bad, but I was like,
right.
If you're stuck in your ways, you know, there's nothing that you, or you're not trying to figure out like how about I try this because everybody else is trying it? It's obviously working.
Right.
You know, you can find somebody that can do everything else to make it work the way it's supposed to.
Exactly.
Type of thing. And I think he was more so on some, if he didn't do it himself, it wasn't supposed to work. You know.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You need
That's
a team.
crazy.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Definitely
For
need a
sure.
team.
I feel like especially like coming out of the pandemic, like that was such a crazy time
Oh,
in general, but also like
wild.
like I remember like people were like, you know, like FaceTime, like you know, like you were
FaceTime was crazy.
Yeah, like you were or like just
Zoom.
like
Instagram
FaceTime
Live.
dates, like
Instagram Live was
or like
crazy.
like Zoom happy hours. Like I was
DJs,
like,
the
what's
DJs.
going
Let's
on?
turn it up with the DJs in the crib. Oh,
Yeah.
hard. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
definitely hard.
that was wild. It was.
We was living on the phone.
And it's like, I remember this
Yeah.
jail, this match.
Yeah.
See, around that time, I was working at Walmart. So it never stopped for me.
Yeah.
But I remember the last day for the Goodwill, I went, it was me and the owner of 5110. And
Oh,
we was
okay.
like, yeah, ain't nobody else in here but me and you, bro.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then the next day, they shut everything down. I was like, I remember
Yeah.
going into work, it looked like we was in the apocalypse because everybody was in
Literally.
here. Everybody's grabbing water.
Toilet paper, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
what was the
crazy.
mad rush for toilet paper?
I don't
Like,
know
that
what
was
about.
crazy.
I'm not gonna lie to you. The water thing too. Like we pulled two
Yeah.
or three pallets out. People looked like they worked there because they were just handing them to other people. Like here you go,
Yeah.
here you go. But
Yeah,
Just a
because people
crazy
didn't know.
time.
People didn't know how long it was going to last and this
Yeah.
and that, and like. What you gonna do in a crisis? Everybody's gonna be
Right.
That's the
Like
first thing everybody gonna
something
go
to feel
to.
secure.
Yeah, you know what I
It's
mean.
just
I need water and toilet paper, yo. Listen, I'm sorry. I mean, yeah. I tell you right now, because somebody did ask me that. It was like, "What you stock up on, bro?" They said toilet paper, water. I said, "No, napkins, bro." My car right now, my glove box, pounds of napkins, bro. Because if you run out of toilet paper, I got something that's gonna do the job.
No, you were onto
It ain't sharp,
something.
but
You were onto something.
because
I'm
people like
telling
you,
you.
old man, walking into work.
napkins gone. Yeah, baby wipe too. Yeah.
He going for the baby wipes. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, the
Yeah.
cousin, he shot me a message like, "Cuz, y'all got baby wipes." I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
it's 4 a.m. Because I worked overnight. But
Right.
yeah, that was a wild time in life. People were in line
sure.
like they was waiting
Oh my
on
gosh,
Jordans
yeah.
just to go to Walmart to be outside.
Or just
Yeah.
like cleaning like the outsides of like packages.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it was just a lot of extra, and I think a lot of people it opened up, especially for because you had people thinking about this entrepreneur journey before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I think the pandemic was the push for every entrepreneur to be like, oh, well, you know, we got this STEMI money. If they were smart, they got the STEMI money. All right, I'm gonna definitely put this behind what I've been trying to do or been thinking about doing.
Right.
Because, you know, eventually I hope most people had the outlook, all right, I don't know how long we're gonna be in this thing, but maybe in the next 1 or 2 years when we come out of this, I'll be ready to set up to take off. You know what I mean? So
Totally.
you know, I always like to give, you know, hats off and people their flowers for, you know, coming up in that time and starting, even if they started or was just beginning to start when that happened, and they're able to push through it and now they're flourishing. So
100%.
it's definitely good to see, and it's motivation.
Yeah.
It's definitely motivation. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, even like people that like TikTok, I feel like became a big thing like in that time. So even
absolutely.
people that like have grown on like that platform, like even what you were saying, like that person that like grew on TikTok, now they're like modeling for Nike.
Right.
They still
Like,
threw me off. I'm like,
yeah, like I would love to be like I would love to be on that level, like somehow. Like
Right.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I was just about to
Right.
say that.
Just gotta put in the work.
Put it like this.
The bigger you build your influence,
Exactly.
the bigger it becomes, the more they're going to need you.
Yep.
So I feel like you got that. You know what I mean? Your brand, I look at your page. You know what I mean? You keep growing it, they're going to be like, hey, we about to cut her a check.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's what I'm trying to be at.
Yeah.
And they look at the portfolio like, she got it.
Yeah, you. The resume is
Yeah.
definitely official. Like he said, when I looked at the page, I'm
appreciate
like,
that.
oh, she's. she definitely got material here. Like
I
you've
appreciate
been in a
that.
lot of spots and done a lot of things and
Trying.
a lot of big names.
Don't
You
say
know,
that. You're
so
doing it.
yeah,
I'm
you're
doing
definitely
it.
doing
I
it.
tell
So
people
Try
all
to
the
be
time.
bigger every day.
Trust me, you're doing it.
I appreciate
give
that.
you your hats off for that.
Yeah.
Even when I met you, like you had that energy. Like I think I met you at the History Center, and we only talked for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then after that, you know, we would chat through like the stories and stuff like that. But just your energy, you bring the energy.
Yeah.
You bring the energy.
I try.
The next question is this: do you just do Instagram or you do TikTok as well?
I try to have like a hand in. I mean, as a consumer, like I love TikTok. I spend like I get the TikTok ad where it's like, have you been like endlessly scrolling and avoiding sleep? And I'm like, don't stop. I like immediately scroll past it. I like testing platforms regardless of like if I use it for business or not. Like I've had some like TikToks like go viral. And I know like a lot of like the goal is to go viral, but sometimes like going viral, oh my gosh. Everyone has an opinion.
Yes, they do.
Like the comments be coming at you. Oh my gosh.
You're not mad, bro.
No, literally.
So that means, yeah, I mean, when you're going through that, you got to be able to. So that means that you got to build the tolerance for your emotion to deal with.
Oh,
that.
for sure.
And you want to keep doing that.
Exactly.
Because you got to be able to. I heard another person from David Shands is like, I've been being attacked for the last 2 weeks on social media.
Yeah.
This brand's so big. And it's like, but you got to be able to be like, whatever.
100%.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing when you look like, what do you say?
Yeah.
You start getting crazy, and you get the Kermit fingers.
No, literally. That's why all my social media notifications are off. Like nothing comes up on my phone. So like even if I open the app and I see something, I'm like, if I just exit out, it disappears.
that's so crazy. It's like a law of attraction that you gonna get. You know, people are toxic, bro. Like they really.
Oh yeah.
They hate your success, but they love you because they watching you though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
That's why I'm
it's weird.
confused. I'm
Like
you don't like
like
what
you
I
really
do.
want me to win for
But you
real,
like
but you
what I do.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like
They want to be that.
yeah, and they don't know how. Yeah, absolutely.
Have you guys experienced that? Like have
Oh,
you
yeah.
experienced that on like
a little bit. I done had a
Yeah.
little bit of both. So I done had it get to a certain extent of me being questioned to the point I'm like, bro, you might as well just pay me.
Yeah.
Like you're asking me this many questions, you might as well just pay me.
Facts.
I might as well just do like, and he actually told me, he was like, bro, you might as well just do a class. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
Like
Just
kind of
because-
asking you about like
as in, what do I look for? What are certain things that sell on a regular for you?
yeah.
what
Like, that's
type
your
of price? What
craft.
type of price range
Yeah.
do you go by? And I'm like, I might as well just write an ebook for all this for the things that
No,
we're
but
asking.
actually-
And then I done had it a little bit like negative on some like, oh, this can't be true, or there's no way you found this. And then I done had it to the point of, I had somebody come up to me shaking. Shout out to him. I fucked with bro. His name was Zach. I actually think he did events with Downtown Vintage. I think they did the Fleet one time too. But I was talking to my mans from Heat Check, Ricky, and me and him's talking, and he's like, "It's you." And I'm like,
not the pointing finger.
Rick slides out the way like Batman. He was like,
Oh my gosh.
I'll talk to you in a minute, bro. And I took a picture with him and everything, but it was just
Oh,
wild
wow.
to see that he was in shock to meet me like that. I'm like, bro, I'm regular. I'm
For
like,
sure.
nah, bro, I see what you do. And I'm like, that's what's up. Like,
Yeah.
to even get that feeling from somebody to have that connection with me.
100%.
And I never met him a day in my life. So
Yeah.
it was like, it was mind blowing. Even like I said, with the message I got for the DM, and he was like, hey, bro, they know your name down here. Like, it's mind blowing to hear that. To be like, so he's like, keep working. Like, me hearing them two things, like, it's kind of like how my dad is. I love him to death. Love you to death, Dad. Because he keeps it short and simple, but it says so much for you. So just knowing that I'm doing what has to be done, my time's coming. Just like your time's coming. For sure.
100%.
For sure. Because you put that work in.
Yeah.
You put that nonstop. I see it nonstop. Like, for real, that's a good thing. Like,
Yeah.
Consistent.
That's
You're
the
real
goal.
consistent. Trust
Yeah.
me. So even if you feel like you're not meeting your goals, there's definitely goals that's being met.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Who was some of your inspiration? I'm not sure if you touched on this in the beginning, but who was some of your inspirations growing up to either? I know you said you were majoring in journalism, but it kind of took a slide to where you're at now. Who was your inspiration for that?
Yeah.
If anybody.
No, for sure. That's a good question. I mean, I feel like in college and kind of just like going from like teenager to adult. I really, really like Ashley Graham.
Never heard her.
She's like a model, but she's like, I feel like growing up like in a time where it's like the magazines were so like nitpicky about like any celebrities that like had like an ounce of fat on them or anything.
Oh yeah.
Like from like that body image perspective.
Yeah.
Like there's like a theme of like body image because I do post like a lot of myself on my pages. And that's like one of my favorite ways to be creative is like working with photographers and like creating this imagery that like fits my brand but like on a bigger level.
Right.
So like I loved Ashley Graham because she just was like so unapologetically her. And like even when I was like a teenager and like into college, like I didn't take public speaking until my senior year. Like I hated like I hated public speaking. Like if I had to present in front of the class, like I would like shake and get nervous. Like I was making myself like smaller in like rooms where I shouldn't have been doing that. So I feel like just like having like really like positive like women to follow that were like doing the thing or like, you know, especially like going through life and like now I'm in my late 20s, it's like, oh, like you don't want to like settle down or like get married. And it's like, no, like I have a business. Like that's what I'm doing. Like I don't have time for anything else.
Absolutely.
Like that's my child. And I'm not saying that like you can't have it all, but it's just like, I feel like sometimes, you know, meeting people, they'll ask me like, oh, what do you do all day? And it's like, what don't I do all day? Like, you know, so much goes, like, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Like, even when we were talking about like, you know, editing, like like so much like goes into everything. Like, even from like, you know, just the lighting or like, let alone like what something sounds like.
Right.
So that was like a long-winded answer, but just like,
No, it's good.
yeah, just like finding like, I don't know, just like cool people to follow that just like are doing the thing.
Doing the thing, yeah.
Or even like on the culinary side, you know, unfortunately, I feel like I didn't appreciate him until he passed. But like, I love Anthony Bourdain. Like, I like oftentimes I just am like, I feel like the world would be such a better place if like he was here and like, you know, being able to just like tell the stories that he was telling. Like I love his work. I love like reading his books and watching his shows, and I feel like no one else is really doing that. Especially like especially like working with restaurants. You know, like everyone thinks they're a restaurant critic now.
Yeah,
For sure.
And people don't know like how much goes into like the back end of that stuff. So I'm like, I feel like if you know, like there's just someone that was like reporting like on food in a way where it was similar to what he was doing.
I feel like that person should be you.
And it's funny because a lot of people say that.
yeah. Seriously.
You could be the food ambassador.
Yeah,
That should be like a part of your brand is you're the food ambassador.
for sure.
So everybody come to you and then you train other people.
Yeah.
On those clients, now you got your team.
Yeah,
That's how
that would be the goal.
That would be like the goal of the business part aspect, how I'm looking at it.
But
Yeah.
I think your competition would be people like the Gordon Ramsay of the kitchens. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
like he said, he has Gordon. When you say Gordon Ramsay, he's got it from both sides because he's a chef, a successful chef, and then he can critique the food. He knows just by taste, texture, feel, look. He knows what food should look like, taste like, how it should be cooked, and how it should be presented as well.
Yeah.
So like I that would be your competition from my standpoint. Somebody like that, you know what I mean? And I don't know nobody that's too many people that's like the Gordon Ramsay. You know what I mean?
That's a good point,
what he
too.
does. I really didn't like him. I thought he was just an asshole. I'm like, bro, how is he still on? But then he's so successful, and he is a top tier chef.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so like, if you watch his shows, and these people are in his restaurants, it's the menu it's the same.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't waver, and these people, you know, have problems with making the simple things. And then I'm like, you got high profile celebrities coming in to eat at his restaurant, but I get it though. It's it's a mixture of entertainment with learning the style and how to cook in the environment that they're in, because it is a stressful environment, especially when you're dealing with high level people like that. But you know, like I said, I think somebody like him would be your only competition. But like what Dre was saying, you do might not be the ambassador for that type of thing, because I don't see nobody else doing it. That's a untapped lane.
Yeah, I feel like especially like in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
For sure, because it's one thing that even like we spoke about, and I was saying, I was like, if you want to look for something like